There's a certain level of arrogance we have here in the West where we somehow believe we know what is best for others, even though we have no context as to what the hell they're actually going through. For example, the Iranian people are standing up saying that they hate their regime, yet you have many on the left and even those on what is now being called the woke right who will stand up and say, no, that's not what's going on. No, you're not oppressed. No, the Jew is your enemy. And you have Iranians saying, yay, finally, somebody is standing up for us and with us. Yay. And then you got folks on the left saying, no, the white man is the colonizer and the Jew is the white. And if we get involved, well, we're going to side with the enemy. The individual who says death to America, they really don't mean that. They're just saying it to say it. They are our friends because they're brown people. That's essentially how I hear it in my head, at least anyways. But, I thought to myself, I can be just as ignorant. I could be just as arrogant and really misinformed as anybody else. And that's why I do my best to continue to inform myself on the reality as opposed to emotionality of things, right? As opposed to seeping simply into the conspiracy. Let me just hear from the people themselves. And so that being said, I want to go ahead and give a spotlight to this lady here who's going to break a few things down for us that, maybe some of us just aren't aware of. As much as we may think we know because we've watched 1,500 TikToks on it. You know what I mean?
Hey, full-blooded Iranian here. Born in Iran, went to school in Iran, fled Iran twice, and was actually arrested by the morality police in 1995 for watching MTV on a VHS cassette, and the music was so loud the neighbors heard and called the Basij on me and my cousins. They separated us in different prisons, and they held me captive for 3 days of hell before they informed my family where I was even at. This is Nika Shakarami, 16-year-old who was essayed and unalived by IRGC members for participating in the Women Life Freedom Movement. This is Hadith.
Y'all did hear that, by the way. That's one part of the story that's oftentimes left out. It's, she was unalived. I hate that we have to use that damn word. She was executed by the quote unquote morality police. She was also assaulted by the morality police. Okay.
Najafi. She was
but these are the people that we're supposed to defend. Right, Carlson? Right, Candace? I mean, they're just trying to express themselves.
Unalived for participating in the Women Life Freedom Movement. This is Mohammad Qabalu. The whole world said his name, and they ended up executing him in secret without being able to say goodbye to his family. Who executed him? The Islamic regime occupying Iran. For what? For participating in the Women Life Freedom protest. This is Reza Rasai. He was unalived as well. Execution at 5 a.m. unannounced, didn't get to say goodbye to his family because he participated in the Women Life Freedom movement. Who unalived him? The Islamic regime occupying Iran. This is Khodanur. He is from Zahedan, and he is a minority inside of Iran. His life was taken by the IRGC in the most brutal way that you can imagine. He was participating in the Friday protest after prayer in support of the Women Life Freedom movement. He was shot by IRGC members, dragged, tied to a pole, given water bottle, feet away from where he could reach, and left to die. And let's not forget the Islamic regime is also known for shooting people's eye out for participating in the Women Life Freedom movement. Don't forget the Iranian people and what they have been going through for over 46 years under the rule of the Islamic regime occupying Iran. They are done with this regime. They no longer want them in power. If this regime stays in power, we are going to have more names and more executions in the days to come. Hey.
Now, why is this woman's voice not amplified by the likes of a Tucker, a Candace, these individuals who stand up for human rights? We don't want war. The only reason why we were standing up against Donald Trump is because he is a warmonger. You mean the same man who's been saying the same thing from the very beginning? Iran cannot have, or more specifically, this Islamic regime cannot have nuclear powers? The very same people who claim that they want to erase the West? So we're supposed to stand with you, Candace, with you, Tucker, who want us to be hands off about individuals who do that. And then you want to talk about civil liberties, civil rights, human rights. All these so-called human rights organizations standing up for human rights. Give me a damn break. The last thing they give a damn about is the rights of all humans. What they care about is to defend a terror regime that they're afraid of calling out. Let's be real. Do y'all hear what's going on in the UK, in Ireland, in Germany, in Belgium? The invasion that has taken place? You will go to prison in Ireland for speaking in opposition to this regime. Better yet, let me state it this way. If you post a conservative, anti-Islamic tweet, you will be incarcerated, whilst the individuals who are literally assaulting, raping young women walk free. Oh, well, I guess, there's obviously different rules if you are a Pakistani Muslim, right? Then it doesn't really count for you. So this is where it really catches me. And my first critique was towards the so-called feminist movement to say, why is it that y'all care so much about women's rights when it's about unaliving your own child, your own infant, but then you are deathly quiet when it comes to standing up for women who have no rights right next door to you? Why do you not stand up for them, but instead you stand in opposition to them? I seen these fools, these outright smooth-brained idiots coming out here and holding up signs of the Ayatollah, the man who is the head of the snake, the head of this regime that treats women in this way and men who stand with women in this way. I have seen these so-called white liberal women who stand up for women's rights holding up that man's head as if he is some sort of freedom fighter. But can I expect anything else from the same fools who held up the head of Che Guevara, the individuals who held up the head of Mao Zedong? Can I expect anything less? Y'all always support the actual terror regime while ignoring, or worse off, making things worse for those who are actually trying to stand up to it. DJT, and I'm so proud of him for standing on business, as they say, and continuing to be an ally for our allies, our real allies. Because, folks in NATO talk about they're our allies all the time, right? We barely see anything happening over there. Oh, but, over here in Europe, we've got plenty of allies. You mean the very same ones that were pushing anti-Trump propaganda? The very same ones who are looking for us to remain in that insane cycle of woke idiocracy? That's our allies, not the ones who are willing to go ahead and do what they got to do with the individuals who are talking about some death to America. It boggles the mind. Because I want to believe that it is not stupidity. There's a part of me, the hopeful optimist, that says it's not stupidity, it's all misinformed. Or better yet, I would rather have stupidity than malicious intent, than genuine evil. Individuals who are going to stand behind evil, propagate evil for the sake of clicks, views, and monetary gain. For power. Candace, why is it that you only cared about so-called free speech being limited when it was now targeted towards, the Hamas sympathizers on college campuses who are making it hell on earth for those Jewish students? Why all of a sudden, when it was connected to the Jewish population, and more specifically, it was the Muslim regime, or at least their little foot soldiers on these college campuses, as soon as DJT took a stand on that, true hate speech, the sort of thing that you were looking to dox just a few years ago? Yeah. Why is it that you only care then? Why is it that Trump is only truly a problem then? and we need to defend our free speech, and Trump is imposing upon our free speech. Why is it only a problem? Can you please give me an adequate answer? If somebody could get a hold of Queen Candace Qatari Owens, why is it an issue then? It can't be because you're trying to continuously stay on code with this entire, I guess, here's an interesting thing with Candace. And I have to get to her because she's one of the most dangerous voices in America today. And I don't say that like I mean what I say. She's one of the most dangerous voices because she pretends she doesn't know what she essentially is on. She pretends it's about asking questions, but really she's pushing this Jew hatred at an unprecedented rate. And she knows who her audience is. She knows she's speaking to the neo you-know-whos. So what's most interesting to me is this about her. Why is it that she will continuously use these phrases, statements such as, well, it's not technically the Jewish people I'm speaking of. It's Netanyahu. Okay, great, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the man, Netanyahu, the leader. Okay, yeah. I'm sure that there are plenty of people, even in Israel, who have their own stances on him, just like any other person would in any other regime. There are those who stand with him, against him. And then as well, actually, it's Israel. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, so it's a nation? The whole okay. Okay. And then it's the Frankists. And then she finally gets to it. It's the Zionist. We're getting closer and closer to what the hell she's actually talking about. Closer. It's the Jews. And that's why she won't bring these stories up. That's why she won't create a six episode long series like she did on whether or not Macron is married to a dude. She'll do 6 episodes of that. 50 years worth of research. But yet when it comes to bringing these stories up, maybe let's give that a few seconds. Let's do a little, spark note over here. Let's just do a little bookmark over there. And then let's continue on the rest of this. It's comical at this level. Now, the reason why, again, Tucker, I don't bring up as much is because he's a lot more of a Slytherin in his ways. He's a lot more Slytherin in his ways. But he is still the type of individual, and that's why I believe he may be paid very well, because he is real cozy with, the Qataris. And I mean, he's literally interviewed the leader of Qatar, the ruler of Qatar, and threw him little softball pitch questions. And then he sits next to a man like, I don't know, Ted Cruz. And he treats him as if he is a warlord, a dictator of sort, when this is literally a sitting member of, America's government. Like, not even president, not even close to it. Man is over a state. And yet he gets the sort of treatment like he has occupied half of the globe. But again, this is what this sort of hatred does. It erodes the mind and it takes away from what matters. And so I'm going to make sure to make an effort to continue to bring these stories of the people to the forefront, to continue to bring as much of the truth as I possibly can. Because again, there are conspiracies that are real. What happened to us in 2020? Yeah, I get it. I never got the Japski Wapski, not one. I didn't need a booster because I didn't get the first one. That's me. I believe that there are a lot of crooked things going on. But to have to scapegoat this one group of people is either intellectually lazy or just downright evil. And you can pick which one you want. And I wouldn't want to be in either of those two camps. So, yeah, shout out to, what's her name? Her name is Persian Red Nick. I guess that is. And make sure to go follow her on her TikTok. I'm sure she's got a lot of amazing things going on. But yes, free Iran from the Islamic regime. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there. Or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. Fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night.
I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.